I'm Yeaman. I'm a screenwriter here in Atlanta. I run Bridge 17 Scriptwriters Studio, founder and executive director. I fell in love with writing first. Film is second. Film is third. So I fell in love with writing episodic series. I love the act of storytelling. I love actually seeing a character develop when you don't know where they exist. They exist in your brain, in your head, and then all of a sudden they're on paper. And they can come to life from that point. So that I probably fell in love more with character development more than film. I think films are amazing. I believe it creates a canvas for us to see ourselves in humanity, as well as for us to have answers for what's going on in humanity. I started about 5 years old, and I was that kid who always had observations. And most storytellers are the best observations. We sit on a wall, we sit in the back of a room, we're very quiet, and we can observe the whole world around us and interpret. We can get your feelings, we can have an understanding of what's going on. So I could sit around a family of 12, brothers and sisters, mother and father, and figure out like what was happening in their world, and I would just write about it. I didn't know what I was doing, and I'm from Detroit, so you come from black parents in Detroit who don't know what you are, you're just smart. You're supposed to be a doctor, so that's what you think you're supposed to do. But for me, writing, I started writing in classes, I started winning competitions. I went to school about a year early. I went to college a year early for journalism. Writing for me was my only way I can communicate, because I was a quiet child. So the only way I can communicate anything was through writing. I didn't know what screenwriting was until 5 years ago. I didn't know that that was a thing that some black person can do. I didn't realize that, oh, you can make a living, because I just assumed it was for somebody in Hollywood. As soon as I found out, oh, okay, it's not just acting. There's levels to this. There's someone else. And that seems very naive now, because every black person probably in Atlanta knows what screenwriting is, scriptwriting is. But when you were growing up in the 80s, who told you in the middle of Detroit? Nobody. Not one soul. You can write a novel, you can write a book, you can be a journalist, but who told you can write film? So then I went through all of the normal channels. You go through schools. I went to New York Film Academy. I went through all these different places. Like, yeah, this is great, but I've absorbed it all because I'm quick. Now, okay, now how do I get this job as a writer? Oh, well, you have to go through this other broke period. No money in order to say that you're a screenwriter. I don't believe in that. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. So I believe in making your own way in your own roads. So I said, okay, so I need to match myself up with producers. Writing for myself is not going to do it. I need money. So I went and found producers in Atlanta. And I started writing for anybody I can get my hands on. For 2 years straight, 36 scripts. Anything you gave me, I wrote fast. Everything is about, I think, just following your hunches. And when I was writing for all these producers, I didn't know what their connection was. So since I was saying yes so much, and they realized I was a hungry writer and capable and palatable, like I can be in a room and accept criticism and go back, take the notes and write. So they gave me all my bridges. So then I realized I had all these bridges, but then there's writers who like, hey, how do I get this? How do I get that? I'm like, I don't know, but let's just see what happens. So to me, you have producers and writers, and these independent producers had no way to communicate well to me. I just had a gift of understanding their one sentence. That meant to change these 5 pages. But other writers couldn't get that. They were confused. When I started running writers' rooms, I'm like, okay, let me interpret what the producer's really saying to you. That was my gift. Okay, so then these writers actually need jobs, because they're looking like, hey, well, how do I get paid to write? Okay, well, let me use the resources I built for the last 2 years and see what I can do. So then I start building the writer's room. Okay, well, then let's figure out how we can have structure among this program. So it just developed into this community that the community really interpreted what my role would be. I didn't ask to be a teacher in writing. They said, no, we need you to teach us. I didn't ask to have a studio in writing. No, we need a place we can call home. We need our own co-work space, because I'm getting kicked out of these other co-work spaces. They don't want me there at 9 o'clock. They don't want me here at this time. They don't understand what writers are like. I don't want to talk at the coffee at this spot. I don't. What I want is to be able to be around, incubate with other energies and other writers. How can I do that, AZ? Or where does this space exist? Because of my personality. I was like, oh, I can do that. So that's it. I mean, it was just God gave you your hunches, God gave you your balance, God gave you what you needed. And from that space, I just follow whatever I was told to do. So Bridge 17 gets a call. Now we get a lot of calls now. We get calls from producers who want Georgia-fed, Georgia-bred writers. All right, I put it that way. They want Georgia writers in order to just help in their own community. So they'll call us and say, hey, I have a script idea. Do you have anybody? Yes, I do. So then I send out a script call, or I'll call the people, the writers that I know that I've helped cultivate or that I've worked with quite a bit over the last few years and say, hey, what do you think about this idea? So they'll say, yes, I want to be a part of that. So we put them all in the writer's room, 3 to 4, maybe 6, depending on what it is. We put them all in the room. From that, the producer's in the room and they choose. Like, they go over it, this is a story idea, and the producer has a feel for them, like, oh, okay, they do understand my story. I connect with them, because that's the point. You got to have a voice. So now they connected with the producer, and the producer's like, I want this person or these 2 people to write my script for me. Okay, great. You hired. Well, graduation is you getting the deal. And so when they get a deal or they get paid, it's a humble I did that. It's not a huge I did that. It's a very small, oh my God, that that worked. So it's nice. It's a confirmation to keep going. So in those down moments when I'm trying to figure out how things are going to get paid or get done, those down moments, I get out of my bed and go, okay, thank you, God, because someone got picked up today. Thank you, God, because someone wrote a script today. Thank you, God, because someone's living their dream today. Those are the moments. So that's really how I feel. It's not graduation. It's like, oh, you can sit in a room and you can get critiques and you can go back and you can write it. You can actually get script to screen and people trust you because you have Bridge 17 stamped on your resume. That's to build that brand of honesty and truth and integrity in a room, and just being capable to say, okay, you go out now, they're a capable writer. That's, where do you get that?